And we're back at the Kayfabe and Chill podcast. And in this episode, which is actually our Michael Jordan episode, we will step into the cell and yell at each other about who booked the best pay-per-view, which is a segment you can check out in our previous episode. You can check out our pitches there. I am your Kayfabe and Chill champion, Chesko, the commissioner of Saga Wrestling. And I'm going to introduce my hosts now, my competitors, my rivals for this episode. Starting off, he's a San Antonio Romeo. He has the sexiest lips in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, he's also a lying, cheating, and stealing when it comes to the draft. His name is Ray Carter.
What's up? What's up? Feeling good to be back, boys. We got a good one. This is gonna be a banger for 23.
Hell yeah. Next up, we have the man who makes this pod rated M for mature, the House of M, the king of capitalism. If you watched last week's episode, he will do what's best for business. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and say what's up to Triple M.
Fuck Pizza Hut. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And on that note, on the next person we got lined up here is the light of my life, the inaugural KNC champion, and the underground king of getting under your mother. It's the Cougar connoisseur, Ephraim.
Yo.
What's up?
Yo, how's it going? What's up? Let's have a fun hell in the cell, and we're gonna flip the menu and everything. Woo!
Hell yeah!
Let's go.
I'm
Win.
excited because I've never been in the cell, and it looks like we're gonna have some fun. How are we feeling? How are we feeling after last week's episode? We got to pitch our shows. Got the draft 2 weeks ago. How are we feeling about y'all's brand so far?
Man, it feels good. It's better than my fantasy football league, I'll say that. But if it feels good to kind of get wrestlers that you think can kind of fit your brand and you're able to kind of put them in matches that you see fit and all that. So, like I said, feels good.
Yeah, I mean, like we already said, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. I've been thinking about it, and it's kind of cool we're actually doing this and having this moment to be like a fantasy draft because no one's really done wrestling. They've done football, basketball, and what other stuff they can do. So this is pretty cool to do a wrestling version of it, and I'm hoping the fans like it as well.
I'd like just to introduce, we're now introducing on location. So if you guys want to pitch, for the first row, we're starting at the main event, $11,000 for front row. And then row 2 is going to be 6,000. And then if you want
That's
to be
if
like
you
row
want the
like
champions
5,
package. If you want the champions package for like a quick 5-second
Unlimited.
meet and greet, you just shake hands, take the photo, and dip. 11K, right there.
then in row 5 all the way to 3, about 3,000 right there, including ramp side.
I've been thinking about it too since Matt was saying about like sponsorships and all that. You know how fucked up ESPN is for keeping WrestlePalooza off of Peacock and having it there? Because I just thought the rewatch was gonna be on Peacock, and I was trying to see if it was still on there, and I was like, man, that's fucked up. Peacock doesn't even have it.
Yeah, it's brutal. Like I was thinking about it and I was like, why is it's so weird that Raw and SmackDown are not on the same streaming platform? Like that just doesn't make sense. And then you're like, wait, you're telling me that the PLEs now are in a totally different thing,
Yeah.
and that's not even the archive of PLEs. Like you still got to go to another streaming platform just to get the other PL. So it just doesn't make
You
any
just got to
sense,
move to
man.
Canada to get it all.
I know, VPN.
That's what I've been doing.
If only they had a wrestling app that streamed it for $9.99 per month. Gee,
That would've
what
been
would
cool.
you call it? What would you call that?
I-
A streaming service app that the stream wrestling, the archive.
What would
The
you call
main
that?
channel, the WWE app.
Mind you, it's
Bro.
$9.99 per month.
What's that
Chesco, say that
word?
again. Say that again.
The WWE. It's the word starts with
Channel.
I don't.
The
Yeah. Oh,
WWE
something like
channel.
Oh, okay.
that.
Matt,
Something
do you
like
know?
that. I don't know. Just
Matt, do you have
Patreon.
anything? Patreon? Oh yeah, the WWE Patreon.
the
Yeah.
WWE OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
Just putting it out there.
For the newer fans of that just got into
Apparently, Cora
wrestling.
Jade, she's making more than your favorite wrestler in a month.
That's
Hey,
true.
she's in that little category of female wrestlers that now hate the business because they let her go, and she's like, I don't like that. I don't like Cora, Mandy, and who else was it?
Jasmine
Lacey
Nix.
Evans.
Jasmine Nix
Nix.
also, her boyfriend they're on a smear campaign right now when it comes to wrestling, which I was like,
Yeah.
interesting.
And make sure if you're gonna be partnered with WWE and be a Hall of Famer, that afterwards, once you get your own business going and your wife does her own thing, make sure to use her correct name so she doesn't blast her ass on TikTok too.
Oh, I know. Even though she has what 52 million followers already on TikTok, but she needs the correct way. Even though you look up Rebecca Hardy, it still pops up. So
Let's move into Hell in the Cell. That
And
is
just like that, yeah.
and transitioning off of that because yeah, first of all, I do want to just say
by the way, it's
um
the WWE Network. So to give you a heads up.
yeah. I think that would be really fun. That would be a great idea. Um I do want to say that I think this has been really fun. I like something that we've been trying to do on this channel is just try to be more creative with it. You know, everyone's doing their reactions and like reaction stuff and predictions, which we love doing, and we will do to a certain capacity. But I don't know, man. Every one of you guys are creative and have your own vision. Like one thing I can say is that each of our brands are completely different from the other. And that's gonna make for a really fun yell in the cell, I feel. So with that being said, shall we get into the festivities, boys?
Go for it.
So starting off, I think we'll just start off with just a brief overview of what our brands are, what the pay-per-view is, and I can go ahead and start. So Saga Wrestling, we prioritize, storytelling. We have a very um, easy, simple system of just these houses that each represent what wrestling is, or different philosophies of wrestling, and that's kind of like the overarching story. But then also you have, conflicts, storylines, shenanigans here and there. And my pay-per-view was Ragnarok, and again, it was sort of meant to be this WrestleMania type feel, big match feel. So that's where you get the Kenny Omega versus Okada versus Roman and Moxley. Um, and then you have all the typical stuff that you expect from a WrestleMania, but I feel like what we were trying to do is just add a little bit more to it, treat it a little bit seriously, just because there was a time where there was like a really good time, and I'll go into this a little bit as we get into the cell. There was a time where we thought WWE was going to be this like amazing, like they finally figured it out and transcended like, theater, athleticism, or like athlete events, cinema and TV, and they're like combined the four and we're gonna enter into this amazing era of wrestling. And obviously they completely dropped the ball on that. So Saga Wrestling, it's sort of the continuation of that, plus a little bit more a little bit more explosiveness, a little bit more fun, none of the Triple H-isms that we all hate, that we've all grown to hate. So yeah, that's sort of the thing is that like why I hate the debates of like, oh, AEW, like we want the flippy dippy stuff, we want like super fast paced stuff, and WWE, it's like, oh, we want slower selling, we want the dramatic stuff, but it's like, why can't we have everything? So that's sort of the philosophy behind that. We go to Bell, I think was the number two pick. So we'll go to you. Go ahead and just give a brief overview of the brand, the pay-per-view.
Real quick with adding over your whole theater thing. You see WWE stocks were going like after 40, the road to SummerSlam, hella good. And then it went down, started to pick a little back up with Survivor Series. And then the Royal Rumble, it was going up, and then Jey Uso wins, and then the entire timeline just gets corrupt.
Yeah, I look at that. Is that do y'all agree? Is that the point? Like the canon event, Royal Rumble, Jey Uso winning as like the canon event for where WWE is now?
I think it tipped it off, but I still think it went down to Cena's heel turn when everything was flipped on its head.
I think Cena, yeah, just because it was very poorly, planned out
I mean,
after The Rock left.
If Cena won the Royal Rumble instead of Jey, he would have turned heel.
Yeah, that's another good point.
That is
Like
true.
that's a really good point. Hmm. Hmm.
But let's see. Oh, Bella Bell, we're the NBA, we're the NFL. If you're gonna go to a place, if you're gonna want to see the best of the best and see a bunch of megastars play and do their thing, you're gonna want to see our show. That's all I have to say.
And no Pizza Hut sponsor. But I still think about the Pizza Hut right now.
I would have been better off with a hot pocket, bro. I have a hot pocket downstairs. I'm about to go get an ice cream sandwich just to fucking.
Matt, as y'all can tell,
Right,
just
your
because
turn.
to fit the context in a little bit,
Your turn.
Matt ordered a bunch of food from Pizza Hut. Best believe Pizza Hut will not be getting another order from Matt anytime soon. We'll just say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they
A lot
screwed
of
up. They
we
screwed up
got heat,
mine. Yep.
major heat with Pizza Hut. This podcast has. So we go to the Legacy Wrestling Fed with Ray
The
Quarter,
Fed.
the Fed.
That fits him so
um,
much.
give give a little taste. Give the people a taste of what they can expect from the LWF with the Fury in the Sky.
Put the menu on us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so if you're in the sky, it's more of a high, fast-paced kind of wrestling. It's more acrobatic. It's a lot of talent from whether it's a WWE, Stardom, kind of all different types of styles that kind of fit that Lucha Libre style a little bit. But yeah, like I said, very high-paced. Always, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, always doing something. Whether high flips or even, whatever.
Oh yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about the pay-per-view you had? Because that's what we're
Yes,
going to be debating.
like the matches or just how it
Just
came.
broadly, like we're going to get into specifics later, but just pitching your pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Um,
so like I said, it's a very lucha libre kind of style, and each one of these matches in the pay-per-view have their chances to shine in their respective field, whether it's high flying, kicks inside the ring, the fast pace. Each of them have their unique style that could fit with them, even their opponent. I feel like it's more based on the wrestling than it is the storytelling. But yeah,
did have a little bit of sports entertainment there, which we'll get to in a
yes.
bit. I think we'll definitely pop up in one of our debates here. But now we move on to the underground with Mr. Cougar Connoisseur. Give him a taste. Flip the menu on him. Show him what's on the menu, and then flip
Damn.
it on him.
Yeah, I mean, the underground was supposed to be this extreme version of what wrestling and the wrestlers that have this different side of them. But I also wanted to make it a little more of a darker tone storyline wise. Everyone has very good story intertwined, and I wanted to connect everyone's each promotion from Saga, from Bell to Bell to LWF into my promotion as well. And I felt like the story right there is a little different, and I wanted to make it special, and also incorporate the dark elements of the darker characters such as the Wyatts, Carrie, and Alistair, and then also adding those extreme elements into the matches as well. So yeah, that's something what I kind of aim for and something I want to do. Like again, and Rebirth is pretty much kind of like just the start of the pay per view, the start of the show. It's just to kick things off. So that's something that I've always wanted to do, and like you said, mine's very heavy segment wise. So it's just start everything off, and I think Rebirth was such a great name for it, just to get people adjusted and know the roster and know what the story is going, what direction it should be going in.
Yeah, I think yours was the only pay-per-view that had like mid-show segments, and
Mm-hmm.
they all bled into the finale, which was very cool, which we'll get into in a little bit. But with that being said, now that you have a little taste of everyone's pay-per-view, now we'll hop into the cell. We're walking in, we're locking the door, and we're gonna explain the rules a little bit. So the format we have currently is that we have a couple different categories here. We have the 5-star, who has the best 5-star wrestling match. We have who has the best sports entertainment match, best use of a wrestler, the best build, and lastly, of course, the best pay-per-view. And we're each going to nominate one of our matches or one of our wrestlers, one of our builds for each category, and then we'll pitch it to you real quick. Then go ahead and debate them, and then at the end of the round, we each have each other's names on a piece of paper. After each round, we're going to vote for someone other than ourselves, and whoever has the most votes will win the round. And hopefully, by the end here, we'll start to see someone start to see who
Bruh, I ain't
wins.
even do nothing, and I'm already.
No, you know what you did. You know what you
I ain't
did,
even
Ray.
do nothing.
You know what you did, Ray. That
Fuck the
poor.
revival.
Fuck the revival.
Nah, how dare you?
So now let's go ahead and get into the sound, boys. Which category do you want to start off with?
Let's go. You want to name the categories?
Yeah, so it's the best 5-star wrestling match, the Dave Meltzer Award. You have the best sports entertainment match, best use of a wrestler, the best build, and then lastly, I think will be the best pay-per-view.
Oh my notes.
Let's go with best use first.
Best use of a wrestler. So this category is really going to be about just, kind of hyping yourself up about something you cooked up for a specific wrestler, whether it be a storyline or something cute that you did. So, who wants to start off?
Um,
Let's
Champ,
go with
I
Ray. He has the
uh,
best use. He has a pretty good one.
Let's save Ray for the last one because I think I know where my vote's going.
I don't
Just
even know what I'm picking.
regardless of how he pitches it. Oh, if he doesn't pick it. Okay, let's
Oh,
go.
okay, I know what y'all are wanting.
Who
Okay.
who give the people what they want, Ray.
All right.
Give
We'll
me what I
go
want.
give me what I want. But yeah, who wants to go first? I want to save Ray for the grand finale of this round.
no, I can honestly.
See, best
Champ,
use.
Champ should pick for.
Okay. B2B. Who do you feel like was your most creative use of a wrestler?
Hmm. The categories are we have best match, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So there's like best like wrestling match, like the match you think would be the most fun, and then the best sports entertainment match, or best wrestling match is like, the AEW scale of like which you think that
Yeah,
would be the fun best match in that sense, and then
because we
best
have.
WWE type match.
Yeah, we have the
Is
double.
it possible to nominate the same one for different?
You can, yeah, yeah, you can.
I'm going with my exorcism match.
Which specific wrestler though? It's like the best your favorite use of a
Oh,
specific
favorite use. Oh, a
wrestler.
specific wrestler. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. I might not go with that one. Um, I'm gonna go with. Fuck, I should have thought a lot more about this because looking at mine, I'm like, fuck, I'm pretty.
Sure. I can give you some time if Ephraim wants to go, if Ephraim's ready.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll take it. So best use of wrestler, I'm gonna do Hangman and his whole storyline that he's going through, just because it makes a lot of sense of how much. I don't know if you guys are familiar with AEW television and the
Okay, I
wrestling
think I
that's
got
going
mine
on.
now.
And I think pretty much what Hangman's going through, and he's the heart and soul of AEW. I wanted to make him the heart and soul of this promotion, and having him be this kind of like centerfold and like this main part of the underground, and having it pulled in 4 different directions from Alistair, from Killer Cross, from the Wyatts, and from Raven, the man that he just recently joined now because he lost his previous match in the Raven versus Hangman match. If Raven loses, I mean, if Hangman loses, he joins and all that. So I think that's a good use of Hangman, especially in a setting like this. And, just Hangman's a great wrestler in general. So him having this, and I think in Chesko's part, and if you guys seen that he's very much, he can pull the audience to him to make him feel like he's his ultimate babyface. So I think that's the best use of my wrestler. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that.
Yeah, just to add on a little bit for Ephraim is like I just recently watched this like compilation of Hangman's storyline from the past like 3 years. And yeah, I feel like maybe a little bit where you're pulling inspiration from is like around the time where the anxious cowboy and he's kind of leaving the elite and he's trying to figure out like, oh, I don't know if I can be friends with the Dark Order. And that was like a really cool bit. Like I really enjoyed sort of how they handled, I don't know, like you don't normally see that kind of storytelling, especially for someone who's made to be a cowboy. That's why I mentioned like, oh, he's such a strong protagonist, is because
Mm-hmm.
you genuinely feel you see someone who's also in certain senses like weak,
Mm-hmm.
like succumbs to his vices. And I think having so many factions trying to get at him as opposed to just two, and especially like those who appeal in different ways, I think is really cool.
I also think too he defies the norm of the underground. He's such, like you said, he's the cowboy. He's the booster goat. He's the light in the dark in this universe. He's the sun and the moon compared to that. And I think that's what I really wanted in the storyline of him being his own person and him coming to fruition from knowing that he is the ultimate top guy of this company and he's able to take down these different forces that want chaos, that wants liberation, that wants destruction, and wants like a family for him. And he's understanding like I have so many options here, but I'm gonna do Hangman. I think a lot of people could get behind a push like that.
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
love Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan specifically.
No, I was memeing on your Booster Gold pick.
I love Green
B2B.
Lantern. I'm not Green Lantern.
B2B. You got your guy or your
I'm gonna
girl?
go with Finn Balor. With him just manipulating his way into breaking the Judgment Day apart and selling away Dom, manipulating Roxanne to be a part of it as well, and then getting his, I guess, what's it called? Him paying his debt to Bray of the Exercise the Demon match.
Hell yeah. Um, yeah, the Finn Balor, and also seeing the demon. Anytime you get to see the demon, and then versus the Fiend is hell yeah. I'll go before Ray.
Yeah.
Uh, no, because I want you to be.
No,
I,
I
I
know.
know where
Yeah.
my vote is going. You could say la di da for 2 minutes, and I'll vote for who I think you're picking. But for me, I feel like my favorite use of a wrestler was Mercedes Moné. Because like right now up to this point, her main characteristic right now in AEW is that she just wins. She's a belt collector, and that can be a little annoying, and which is perfect for me. That starts off like you already have an emotion towards her. But I also wanted to shift it more towards like she's not only just a winner, she's also kind of like the epitome of the American dream, of capitalism. I said it in the video, like she's the Floyd Mayweather of pro wrestling. So I think and I think the fun part about wrestling is we can start to dissect that archetype of like we always hear nowadays. That's like all we can hear about with WWE, with boxing is like the money fight. What's the money fight? But I wanted to sort of dissect uh, like surely there's more that goes into the money fight. Is like why does Mercedes insist on prioritizing money over, say fighting the best one, or what drives her to continue fighting, and what are her insecurities? Like I really enjoyed having her go against Tony Storm and have two people who are fictional in two different ways. They have someone who's fake in terms of she has a character, but it's also her most authentic self. And you have someone who is her authentic self, but is also in a lot of ways portraying like a fake version of herself just to sell money or sell tickets. So yeah, I like the sort of character work that goes into that. Mr. Ray Carter,
So
if
the
if
one I know
elaborate.
who. So the one I'm going with, just because it was the punishment that I got for Dom, is gonna be Nikita Lyons with Vince as her manager. I say this is because I was screwed here with the decision, but also trying to figure out how can I make them fit, even though I know they're, how do I say it? Like the laughing stock of wrestling, and Vince has of course his issues, you know outside and into the real world. But yeah, like just trying to figure all that out. And I think the match that I had with Nikita, specifically with the fatal four way, it kind of fits in what I was trying to aim for. And of course the main reason is because we see Vince McMahon getting arrested, and kind of get to see him get locked up. So yeah.
Ephraim, wake up, man. It's yelling as hell.
No, I'm tired. I don't know why I'm so tired.
Speaking of getting into the cell, Ray, how could you give Vince McMahon a platform, huh? How could you? How
Y'all
dare
gave
you?
y'all
How
gave me
dare
Vince. I
you?
didn't have a choice.
How could you dare give The Rock a or The Rock?
The Rock. I would have been fine with The Rock.
You
Shoot.
saw
Hey,
Zoa.
the
You saw
final boss.
Zoa and me do this.
Different final boss.
You
Sorry,
bought
it's like the
from.
Winter Soldier,
I
where
did
if I
it
see
for
a
The Rock.
rock-related product, I just turn into the Winter Soldier and I'm like, sell to the Rock, sell to the Rock. Um, how could you possibly give no chance? How could you give that a platform? That's all I got to say. God damn it.
I didn't have a
And
choice.
and also Ivra, I love, like I said, I just got done hyping up Adam Hangman, like that storyline. However, also I did see the was that at all like the influence or like the inspiration behind that?
No, actually, I mean,
Okay.
there's stuff that I watch of Hangman, but that one never intrigued me because I never got fully into it. There's parts and they left a lot of things hanging, and I don't really say it took inspiration, but I mean everybody takes inspiration from something, so you can't really say
Yeah.
that. I guess the best way to look at it is I drew from a lot of the Hangman and Swerve rivalry because they didn't really take him down to a certain path that I wanted him to go. Like in my mind, I had Hangman going a little more crazier, a little more psychotic, a little more darker edge. And with the four wrestlers here, the Alistair Killer, the Wyatts, and all that, I felt like this was a very good story plot for them to do in whatever company they were in for a certain wrestler. Because the Wyatts, Killer Cross, Raven, all these wrestlers, yes, they're known for something, but they were very known to be supernatural characters and these like badass, mysterious, cool wrestlers as well in the business. So having them kind of be this dark element of this promotion, which is supposed to be the underground, no one knows where it's at. It's run down. It's a darker style of storytelling and all that. It was the best way to have Hangman kind of find the light and the darkness of the soul and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because like I said, I just got done watching it the other day and I was like, oh, this is actually very like I get the feel now, like I can see the scene. So I was curious if that was like the inspiration behind it at all. Um yeah, I'm gonna go to I'm kind of nervously going to Matt here just because I know he's hot already from the Pizza Hut. I'm gonna go to Finn Balor and I'm gonna say why why would you have him get pinned again? I've seen enough of that on Netflix.
And Balor,
Yeah, that's really my biggest critique on if
If
I'm
we're going,
debating
I mean, would
here.
you rather have Bray take the pin? I mean, I see more future of Ray. We had the whole Demon Finn Balor bit. I think it's more time to bring back just the Prince, make him the face, what he was supposed to be of WWE. Not because I don't think they would have ever done the Demon if Finn Balor was a face. The Demon's more of a heel, if
Yeah.
anything, sometimes baby face. But if we're going long term with like Bray, if like him looking into the backstory of everyone and digging into that of just like how imagine what they did with John Cena and then just doing that with everyone. I mean, eventually we could have just eventually good a storyline. I mean, I don't have the wrestler, you have the New Day, but imagine just like Bray just being like bringing out that Jamaican out of Kofi or bringing out just everyone's like first gimmick. I
So
imagine
that's
like
the bit. That's
if
Bray
Bray was
Wyatt's bit.
alive, yeah, if Bray
Mm.
was alive now,
I
he
mean,
probably would have had the whole something to do with Bailey of her personalities and bringing out Hugger Bailey out.
I see. Like another thing too that I liked about Bray is that he was able to bring out certain character dynamics, and he was able to switch like the Miz from this horrible baby face to back to his heel tendencies and have him be this ultimate heel again, and Daniel Bryan turning from this heel or manager type face um, I guess he changed his ways. Bray had a good understanding of changing characters' ways, so like I
The
guess I see. Go on, Matt. Sorry.
no, the funhouse is just also just a good idea. And just like the whole his like promos of how he would do just like doing like a little show.
Yeah, I just feel like there's if I'm just debating here, I just feel like there's a way to protect the demon character and not have him get pinned just because that's like three straight losses for the demon. But I do get what you're saying where it's like it's a good pivot point because we all want to see him do the gesture and we all want to like his version of the woe, right? And all that stuff. However, if I'm just nitpicking, I think that's where
I
we're
don't
getting
think
grounds.
I think it's time just to bury the demon once and for all.
I think
Because it's I don't see where you could bring it back.
my only critique to it is just having two forces, like two demon forces connect of these two supernatural creatures fighting, and one has to lose, which is the only downside to that rivalry.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard to pick a winner and a loser because at some point, like Jessica Cody's gonna be mad about the Finn Balor losing, and then Ray's gonna be mad because Bray Wyatt's the Fiend lost. So there's always two sides of the coin, and that's the hard part about booking those two characters against each other. Which, again, it's cool last moment to see. It's hard.
Another thing I'm just like doing is I'm doing exactly what WWE do as well. Like, oh, Karrion Cross, your whole gimmick thing of like trying to bring people out. Oh, we can't afford you right now. We don't pay you, so we're gonna give that to Bo Dallas. Have him do that on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just watched his the documentary that he put out right as his contract was running out, and he was saying how, yeah, he literally had the idea for the Judgment Day, being like an extension of the Wyatt family,
Yeah.
way before the Judgment Day started. And I was just like, man, that must suck being a wrestler, having a great bit like in your head, and then years later you see someone else take that bit without asking you for permission. Like, God, man, the wrestling business is
So cutthroat and very
very,
one side of the
What was
track.
that meme, Ephraim? It's like it's funny how the Judgment Day went from being a cult to
It's a
just like
biker game.
yeah.
uh,
The peak Judgment Day was Rhea, Finn, Dom, and Damien. That was the peak Judgment Day. We love Edge. We love Adam Copeland, Cope, whatever you want to call him.
Just
But
was never gonna work.
it was just it was never going to make sense with him. And
yeah.
they turned into something good with those four.
Which I hope he inducts him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, I would say the last good storyline from Judgment Day, I think, was the R-Truth stuff. And you could argue like when Finn turned on Damien, like
Yeah.
you could argue that. I think that was really fun.
The only
But
downside was Finn losing that rivalry.
He
yeah,
should have never
yeah.
lost at Bad Blood. They had
Yeah,
3 matches, and I don't know why you'd kick it off with him losing.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
There's
that's
no
what I'm sorry. I like to apologize, man. I think that's just what the trauma response I got from seeing Finn lose is I've just been seeing all these like rivalries that Finn is getting popped up and this could be the push, this could be the push, and then all of a sudden, one, two, three.
look. We're all firm believers that Finn should have won the world title against Seth back in 2024 at SummerSlam, and
Yep.
he should have won that belt. And I feel like Rollins was it was time for his world title reign to end. But
Yeah,
he should have been the Judgment Day member, and then could have had Damien. Damien works better as a heel, in my opinion. But hey, to each their own.
each their own. So yeah, are we just gonna go ahead and hand this thing
Yeah, I'm
to
handing it to Ray.
Vince McMahon? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So
You know, I want to be different. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote Matt
okay.
just to be
Voting Ray.
different. I'm voting Matt.
Ray, who are you voting for?
You know, Ephraim, we're actually the same. I had Matt too.
Damn, tie
That's a
So
tie?
tie.
you're not even gonna give yourself the round.
You
That
said
was
we couldn't pick
We can't
ourselves.
do that. I would have
no,
done
but you
me.
could have just picked someone else.
I did pick
And
somebody
then
else.
no,
Oh
pick
my
someone other
god.
than who are no, you know what? Okay, round one ends in a tie. Okay. Round one ends in a tie. Now we go straight to another. We go to what I've affectionately called the Dave Meltzer Award. Basically, what do we think is the best 5-star wrestling match? Um, who wants to go first in pitching theirs?
Do you want me to go first again?
Yeah, you got it.
I'm gonna go off my women's triple threat tree fight, which is Grace, Rhea, and Candice LeRae. I think all three women have different styles of wrestling. One has a powerhouse. Rhea's also powerhouse, but she adds that I guess the brawler type style to it. She's very athletic as well. She can do drop kicks off the top. She's able to do hurricane ranas. And then you have Candice LeRae, that's the ultimate like acrobatic, athletic wrestler that can keep up with both women, also out wrestle both women if she needs to. And again, all three great women have great background in Texas death matches and hardcore style wrestling matches. Plus, I also bias with the heel type of Lyra Valkyria coming out and attacking Jordan Grace, given the pickup wins to Candice LeRae, and the story builds up of her joining Fatal Influence after they kick out Jasmine Nix in my storyline. So I think that will be a 5-star classic between three different types of wrestling into one match, but also with broken tables, broken chairs, kendo stick shots, barbed wire chair shots. I think it's just a 5-star classic right there.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'm going with Liv Morgan versus Roxanne in a dog collar match because we all know that famous match of MJF versus CM Punk.
Hmm.
So this is basically that, but then also just on the line of Roxanne's one of the main reasons why her Dom Dom isn't in there. So imagine just the hatred coming there from there already from Liv Morgan's side of her man is out of the WWE in a whole different company. I wonder what company. So there's that personal vendetta as well. And the fact that they're also just two great wrestlers. And the
Hell yeah.
fact that Liv Morgan just submits Roxanne and just basically just cuts her head off the chain.
Jesus Christ, the motion you did, I was like, whoa, did
I
she pull a
know.
Henry Cavill Superman?
Yeah, she's doing the
God, Liv Morgan can make me submit anytime she wants.
Have you all seen that movie, Dead to Me? Or
ha
Get to?
ha.
I've not, no.
So pretty much is that about this guy that's battled between these two women, and they try killing each other, pretty much back and forth, but they both can't die, so they continue to keep trying to find ways to kill each other, right? And the guy's like, "Oh my no!" Like he's Bruce Willis is playing the husband or the boyfriend, and he's pretty much kind of like, "Oh, who, like whatever." Like he pushes down the ex-wife down the stairs. She breaks her neck. She gets back up. Da da da. But it's that Sabrina Carpenter inspiration that movie came off of from that
Oh,
Jenna
wow.
Ortega video.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so that's where I get Matt's idea of like Roxanne versus Liv. That's the idea I have, those two women fighting over one guy. So in that dog collar match, I see the most crazy shit happening. So I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good, but I mean, that's actually a good match.
I miss Liv Morgan. I miss her stupid laugh.
I
Who do I
know.
miss in WWE right now? Kevin Owens and Liv.
I need you to put the clip, Jesco, of Liv Morgan just laughing in that part.
Just ha ha.
Yeah.
Ray, do you have a match you wanted to you're ready to nominate?
I feel like I might be sticking.
Yeah, because I've been going back and forth between these two, but I think I'm leaning one a little bit more. It's gonna be Javon Evans taking on Leon Slater. Both of these guys, I mean, we've just recently saw them, tag team in NXT and the whole
He
NXT.
plagiarized it.
No, I did not plagiarize it.
They plagiarized me.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like just seeing kind of these both young men kind of be the next face of, wrestling for the next couple of years. Both have a similar style with, their high flips. They're both very athletic. They're able to match each other one on one. And I think kind of seeing that match and, as Javon Evans as a heel. I know you guys haven't seen any of his stuff. I did research and kind of seeing him as a heel was very interesting to see. And I think it would fit. Whereas Leon Slater, he's still coming up. He's gonna, kind of be that next face that could be with the fans. And just seeing that, I was like, all right, this could be the match where you know who you're rooting for, despite them, both having a similar style. Just I think for me personally, this would be my 5-star match.
He's flipping the menu. I like it.
Okay. Yeah. So moving on to my match, the one I'm nominating, and I think the reason I'm picking this match is partly because I think Dave Meltzer would come all over this match, is the Kenny
Is it in
Omega.
a Tokyo Dome though?
I'm doing Wembley. I'm doing Wembley for Ragnarok.
Wow.
We're doing Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. Oh,
Yeah, my
you hate the
place.
British? We hate the British people?
I mean, Tokyo Dome's iconic, Chesco.
Tokyo Dome is iconic, but I want like
Mine's in
the rowdy
Riyadh.
crowd. I want the rowdy crowd. I don't want the re
It's not.
I- the deleted scene. I'm not even gonna mention it. The deleted scene in the podcast is hilarious to me. I still laugh about that. Um, let me reset here. So I'm doing Wembley just because I want the rowdy crowd. But yeah, I'm doing Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada versus Roman Reigns versus John Moxley. I think the matches that I agree all of you guys are 5-star matches, but I think the ones that get the most pronounced 5-star, the 7-star, the scale breakers are the ones that have the stakes, the big fight feel, the storytelling, but also just like the execution and crisp wrestling. And I think with, you got the wrestling down pat, you have the move sets from Okada and Omega, whose bags are just so deep. But then I think you have people who I think the matches always start with a very slow build where they're just talking and they're letting their aura build and I think no two wrestlers are better than that than Roman Reigns and Moxley. So I think not only do you get the moves that I think all of you guys have, but I think you also care a lot about even just the slightest movements, and I think that's something that would really elevate the the scenario and the tension and the situation, and you get the storytelling with the swerves. And I think what I really like about this match is that it has the storytelling swerve of Mercedes turning on Roman, House of Glory turning on Roman, but it doesn't end on that. I think ending on the sprint of Okada versus Omega, you get as opposed to, trying to live up to all five of those matches, you just get 6 minutes of wrestling greatness between those two. And in those 6 minutes is just, callbacks and, one winged angel V triggers and Rainmaker attempts until finally Okada wins. And also it just feels good, man. I think getting an Okada win after everything he had been through that night and the build up prior, I think it just makes for what I feel is a very satisfying 5-star match in so many ways. So yeah, with that being said, opening up the cell.
Kiefer, what was your match again? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Grace, Rhea, and Candice LeRae. Street fight. Or I would like to call it a death match street fight is the best way to put it.
Okay.
Mm.
I think for me, and I could be wrong, but I feel like Candice LeRae is kind of like an odd, and I know her NXT days, previous to what she's doing in WWE right now, she was a beast, and I get that. Unless you're pulling that, great. But I just feel like I see more of the attention towards Rhea and Jordan, but like kind of hearing it and now like saying it out loud, I think you're pulling like the last triple threat for WrestleMania with Bianca, Rhea, and Io, where Io's not, as hyped up into the match between Rhea and Bianca, whereas it gives her that undercard, like okay, like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so can I defend myself in
Yeah,
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's
Okay,
good.
cool. So you're wrong. But no, I'm not pulling from any past matches or anything like that. Like I said, it's a whole different style of wrestling between the three of them. Lorray can go with anybody in any time. Doesn't
Okay.
mean that she has to go from her NXT days. If you see her wrestle now, she's a little more, I guess, what do you call it, nerfed in WWE.
No.
Mm,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
definitely.
but she can still go. She's able to grapple with the best. She's like her husband, Johnny Wrestling. So I think her wrestling with Rhea, they always had good in ring chemistry. Even on the main roster, I think they wrestled like once or twice, which is rare fine right now. And then Grace also brings this powerhouse force that Rhea has never faced before. So there's a lot of different, what do you call it, styles clashing with each other. And I think also just adding this Texas like extreme element to it, it's kind of cool with LeRae going through the table, putting a 5-star frog splash on Jordan. Jordan doing a power bomb, a triple stack or power bomb, whatever you want to call it, through each table. It's just different styles, and like I said, LeRae fits that a little bit. She's able to go with both women and able to improve both of them and elevate. How this match can go, and she's pretty much like the ring general of this match as well.
Okay.
I bar
Okay.
her signing to WWE is kind of a big mistake, Jordan Grace.
Yeah, they've
She's
nerfed
lost all
her.
of her matches.
Oh, has she really? That's lame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
No, she
I
won. She just won against Blake Monroe.
Oh shit!
yeah, I think coming back to the
There goes my
thing,
argument.
I think that I think when it comes to 5-star matches, like what is like a 5-star match, I think death matches can be it can teeter on the brink of sometimes being a little overindulgent, Like I
I
know,
mean, it is Dave Meltzer, so I get it. Meltzer is very much like star heavy. He likes to watch those type of matches as well. If it has a big fight feel, he loves it. He wants it to be like a boxing type aura. And
yeah, but I'm not saying yours isn't a big match feel. I could definitely see yours being a big match feel. I'm just talking about 5 stars. I think there's such a delicate balance between having a death match that it gets to that point, like Hangman and Moxley recently was a great death match, and Swerve and Hangman. But I think there is like you have to really, be very careful with how you, you know, finesse that match, if you want to get it to 5 stars. Um, yeah, do you want to say anything to that, or
no,
because I do want to
just
talk about Ray because you've
Oh
been
no.
quiet. I think Javon and
just
Slater, I think they're both too I think Javon in particular, he's still too raw that he might flub up here and there, but he'll make up for it with a great spectacular spot. But I think that's what would maybe take a star off or a 0.25 of a star off. I think, granted, you're going to get the social media clips, but I think he's just a little bit too green at the moment to really get there to the 5 star.
Okay. Well, your match sucked. No, I'm kidding.
Question: has an NXT like match on regular TV or a PLE gotten like a 5-star match yet?
I can look that up.
I think the only close one is Johnny Gargano versus Cole, but I could be wrong.
Let's see. So we got a couple here. Yeah, Johnny Gargano versus Andrade.
No, that's the other one.
Gargano versus Cole. Gargano versus Ciampa.
Yeah.
Uh, Cole versus Gargano versus Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream versus Lars Sullivan versus Ricochet.
Walter versus Ilya, NXT UK.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Tyler
Oh,
Bate
yeah, of
versus
course.
Pete Dunne. Yeah, so a lot in that 2017-19 era of NXT.
No women on there though.
No women as of yet. No.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Tony Storm and Rhea Ripley match from their first NXT days. That was a pretty good one too. That one was really hard, heavy hitting.
Or even Becky and Tiffany.
Yeah, Street Fight was pretty good too.
Bailey and Sasha. That's one
Huh?
I think of as like a fundamental NXT match. Bailey versus Sasha Banks when Sasha just starts going crazy on Bailey during the submission. That's
Yeah,
just
that's a
another
good
one I
one.
think of. But
That
yeah,
Fatal 4A for the women's title when that first came with Becky, the Four Horsewomen, that was a good one too. But I don't think that was a takeover. Maybe it was.
hmm.
All right, who's next? Is it?
Did anyone have
No.
anything for the cell?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, when I think of like fatal four ways or triple threats, I'm like, is it a match all the way through, or is it, I'm just like, oh, who's taking a nap while they're down?
yeah,
Oh, is
because
that for?
it was Okada, Moxley, Roman, and Omega, correct?
Yep.
Because I'm trying to think. I was like, you have the Show Boys versus the New Japan Boys. Is what I always think in my head. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I see it working. I see Meltzer loving it. I'm seeing him cream over right now the V trigger into another V trigger to a V trigger, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, and then a spear
Yeah.
to a V, yeah, reversal. But like I said, Omega could go with anybody, and so can
You're into dirty
Okada.
deeds.
Yeah, the what was it, the paradigm shift. What's it called?
Oh yeah, the paradigm shift, I think. Well,
I don't
you're talking
know.
about Moxley?
Yeah, as
Yeah.
much as I like Mox and I like Ambrose, I'm a big fan of him. I don't see him as that top guy to compete with those three, with Okada and Roman and Omega. That's just my opinion. I love the guy to death. I think you know he's notorious for death matches. He's notorious for the matches that I have on my brand, which is not saying anything bad here. You picked him. That's your pick roster. But I think he just doesn't fit that triple threat or that fatal four way. He's the odd man out. Yes, he probably could go. He can do a couple paradigm shifts, but he mostly gets his spots and throws and kicks off of thumbtack spots and screwdrivers to the head. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure. Or what did Punk say? You always bleed too much in every match you
Hmm.
do. So I guess that's the only reason why I think about it like that. I'm like, yeah, everything
People I
else.
think that Mox can put like a 5-star match is I believe like depends who he going against with like Okada and Omega. Uh, if he were to go against like person like Drew or Edge, for example, just a lot of I
He's
guess
a
like
he's a
hardcore or even
yeah
Randy.
he's a gritty wrestler. While Roman and Omega and Okada are very much. I don't want to say like Roman's this technical genius either in the ring. But
No, he's
yeah, I don't want to say like that. You go with the best of them two. But what I'm saying here is like Roman's able to have that star ability in the ring, and he's able to elevate his level to them, or how Cena would do. So that's
has he
why I'm
had a
like,
5-star match yet, Roman?
I don't
No,
think
he has
so.
not. He has not had a 5-star match.
I believe that
He,
also Mox can also go with Cody, Kevin.
yeah, yeah. Mox is more of that grit wrestler. That's why I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, with Moxley, I just feel like he adds so much stakes. He's so vital. You mentioned like, oh, I don't think he fits in this. I disagree. I think he's so vital to this because he adds the dynamic of you're witnessing these characters post departure, like post not only post departure of Moxley leaving, becoming Moxley, but also you get to see someone who didn't see Roman when he was becoming the tribal chief, and you get to compare, oh, this is what he was when he finally had a friend, when he actually had a friend in the business, versus now when now he's the tribal chief and everyone's backstabbed him, right? And so there's so many stakes that you guys were mentioning. Oh, he's a gritty wrestler. He does his fit. He doesn't fit, but I don't want him to fit. I want him to be an element that he's a house of chaos, house of anarchy. He is the
Yeah.
chaos that I want to see Roman get color. We've never seen Roman get color, and like at least not recently. So I want to see him bring that anarchy, that grittiness to Roman, and we start to see less of the Superman punch, crucifix stuff. We start to see Roman really get down and dirty, which is something that I feel like
I
is
mean,
missing from Roman.
I think too is that in a match with those three other guys, I felt like he's just gonna be the spot guy. He's gonna get put to the table. He's gonna get his head shattered through a piece of glass
He
or a mega
puts in my
spear.
head, he puts him and Roman team up, put Okada through the table, and that's where you get Okada taking the nap again. It's like showing that he maybe Roman and Moxley, they're not the enemies that Roman and Seth are. That he'll go ahead and hit the fist bump one time, hit him with the double power bomb through the table. So I
A
do have
double triple
Moxley
power
to
bomb.
the double triple power. Believe in the Shield. You're gonna get at least one Believe in the Shield
Remember the
moment in the build.
show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And to
So
the viewers at home, we just got established our show member counterparts. So Matt Seth, Chesko is Roman, I'm Dean, John Moxley, and then Ray is Kurt Angle on the
Apparently,
in the candidate.
apparently.
At least we're including him. Okay, that's all I said in chat.
I've always wanted to be part of the Shield. God, I love Kurt Angle, man.
Who are the Evolution members here?
Ooh, that's a good one. Ray's Ric Flair because he's weird. He's a
What?
racist.
No, no. You're not paying that light on me,
Ray
buddy.
Ray Ray Flair.
Ray Flair. Oh,
Nah,
we're into
bro.
it.
We're not doing that.
Woo!
Get back to the cell. Get back to the cell.
Um,
Oh, no. Just goes Triple H.
mm, mm.
So we kind of
Evolution
see
just
how
passed
it.
you by.
So we
At
kind of
least
see where he aligns later on in life.
Either me or Matt's Batista or Randy Orton. I feel like Matt's more of a Batista.
Yeah, Matt Tista.
Batista.
she's
Ooh, we got it.
dig that.
We got the name.
Hell yeah.
Took us what,
Evolution
8
just
episodes?
passed you by. Um, yeah. Ray, did you want to fire any shots, or are you just chilling?
I mean, I'm chilling. I mean, I think you guys all make great arguments for your thing. The only thing, Chesco, I feel like yours is great, but personally, I feel like I'd rather see a Mox versus Roman match. That's because there's so much legacy and history between the two, where I could see Ephraim's point where, yeah, while you're including those kind of moments in the match, I think it would have been better to kind of see, Mox and Roman finally beef. I know they've been friends, but to see another side of them that we've never seen right after like the whole Shield breakup, like seeing friends turn rivals, I think that would have been a little bit something that I could see get like a 5-star match, but yeah.
I think you're missing the context though. This is a four-way for the between all four houses, not just the two feuding, which we will get to the feud. Again,
Okay.
like the way it ends is Roman hitting Moxley with the chair. The
I mean,
shield
again,
chair, with the shield chair, as Michael Cole will say. So I want it to be this is the first pay-per-view. We're leading off into other storylines. I don't want to just send all the nukes. So I
Okay.
agree with your point. However, where I'm sort of negating it is that this is the build up to that. This is, we will
Okay.
get to the Roman and Moxley stuff, which I love as well. But I want to show them that they're still friends a little bit, but I want to see that disintegrate completely. And now we're exactly where we are. Not exactly, but we're at that point where Roman and Seth are volatile against each other. Now we can sort of start to build towards that with Roman and I was gonna call him Dean. Dean Moxley.
which I was just watching that triple threat match earlier before I got on the podcast of the three of them wrestling at Battleground. So
Mm, man, I gotta check that one out. So yeah, are we good to start voting?
I gotta check out Cena versus Ambrose versus AJ.
Oh yeah, Backlash. That's a good one. Oh, is it No Mercy?
Backlash.
Maybe it was one of the two.
I'm ready to vote.
You got your vote? All right, boys. Three, a two, a one.
I don't know if y'all can see mine because I can't see yours.
I
Which
can't
one
see
is
Ray's.
Matt? Which one is Matt voting?
I got Matt,
Oh,
I
I
got
got
Ephraim.
myself.
I just said
and
you
then
can't vote for yourself.
Oh, I thought you you didn't
I
say I
said
was
Ray. Who
right
did you
right.
every
pick?
I said write every name but yourself.
Oh,
Ray, who
I
did you
thought
pick?
you
I
I
picked
thought it was
two.
different for
Oh,
Ray.
okay.
Oh, then I'm going for Charlie Sheen.
Charlie. I was like, what the fuck are names?
So I believe that
Oh,
is
clean sweep.
Mr. CC grabbing this round. Now we
Can I
move on.
wait? May I ask the reason why y'all picked me?
I think yours would be the most entertaining, like just pure, like if we're talking about what it's gonna be, like you'll come away with it feeling the most satisfied, I think is what I personally feel like is a
Who goes
five-star
over your
match.
match?
What did you say?
Who goes over?
It's gonna be Lorray. She pins Rhea with the on the rope, and because
Okay.
the help of what do you call it? JC Jane and Bellinelli.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like it'd be the most satisfying, most like thrills. I think that's like a five-star match to me is a match that has pacing but never feels like it lets go. And I feel like those wrestlers uh have so much aura to them that I would just be messing with the
Yeah,
match.
and I think it helped too with this past weekend with the No Mercy pay per view with the Ray. I mean, not No Ray. With Grace versus Monroe in that steel cage weapons match.
Yeah.
And that was a good showcase for Grace to be kind of like showing her roots and where she came from in TNA and all that stuff.
Hmm. Hell yeah. Um, Anyone else wanted to explain their pick?
No,
No,
pretty much
I
it.
think you said
It was
it.
the first name. It was the first name on the on that I saw. No. So there you go. Ding ding. Point for Ephraim. We move on to let's go to the other side of the coin. Best sports entertainment match. Um, I go ahead and go first here. Mine is the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels versus MJF. I think when you talk about sports entertainment, you're talking about a plot line, you're talking about swerves, you're talking about moments where a story gets developed and satisfied in a way that is not only satisfying but also spin off into future storylines. And I think with MJF and HBK starting off, you have two people who could turn on each other at any moment, which I think is just super satisfying. You have that whole bit of HBK versus and John Cena tag teaming, and the whole time you're like, oh, is he gonna do it? But imagine if those two were together. But I think that's also what kind of would humanize MJF a bit, is giving him a little bit of is Sean seeing himself in MJF, and I think that's where the real sort of heart to it would come into play, especially as we get to the finish. Is um, Sean tuning up the band and seeing himself like a reflection of himself, the douchebag that we see him in the '90s, um, and trying to figure out like, damn. I'm about to tune it up, and is he lovable? Am I gonna go ahead and say that even myself, the '90s version of myself, MJF dressed up as HBK, is unlovable? And I think that sort of heart would give it. Some people would care for. I think of Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels is like this is like a twisted version of that.
Instead of
Um,
tuning up the band, he just hands MJF a Bible.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I want to see MJF.
Tuning up the choir. I think is
I want to see
where we'll
MJF.
go.
I want to see MJF come out with like a bunch of white powder on his nose.
Yeah, we could do all that with Sunny. We'll have
Yeah.
some Sunny D dressed
hmm
up, just throwing it out into the crowd.
Honestly,
Sure.
the most MJF thing to do is come out as Bret Hart.
That too. No, I was thinking during the build is MJF. We have a show in in Montreal or something, or yeah, it can be somewhere else. But yeah, we play off the Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. I feel like there's just so much
Have
meat
it here in San
there.
Antonio. Have it here in San Antonio and have him just shit on San Antonio.
That's 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 the
Only
money.
way. Yep.
That's the money. So yeah, that's where I'm going. Shawn Michaels versus MJF. Yeah. Who goes next?
I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna throw it
Knight
in there.
versus Cena.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's when we go for my sports entertainment match. You saw whenever Cena had his SAG after run, where acting was down. He went to the WWE and started. He put Solo over. It was disagree, but like nobody really liked it. But we saw what John Cena was also do to LA Knight when LA Knight was hot during that fall season of just giving the raise his hand during the tag. Have had LA Knight really carry that match too. Well, the particular part was just Cena just getting his ass kicked the entire time. But I think it was the Judgment Day, right? Or was it the Bloodline? No, Jay. I mean, it was Jimmy and Solo. And then now for having LA Knight as heel, we're having just elderly John Cena of all nostalgia against the new I guess one of the faces of the company
Yeah.
with how over he is just catchphrase wise and with the crowd. So it would be a great you can't see me if everyone wearing Cena shirts and then the younger kids saying yeah and having it'll be a lot of the older people, older fans being Team Cena and all the young kids being Team LA Knight with the glasses.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Who wants to go next?
me? I'll go.
Yeah.
The promo battles too.
Yeah, that'd be good. I guess the only one I can think of that's very much sports entertainment would be my tag match of Fatal Influence, which is kind of like the Mean Girls of the Underground versus the Young Starch, or something that Triple H would start booking now. A little Vince coded as well, having a very cheesy storyline of like Mean Girls versus the preppy new young ups and start skaters of the world, the different, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that's very much sports entertainment right there, and having kicking out the weakest link of a group. Well, yes, it's storyline purposes in real life as well. I just feel like it's very WWE coded, sports entertainment coded, just because it's building up more storyline. And like I said, I guess that's the most sports entertainment match that I can think of. And yeah,
Fuck with
Okay.
it. We go to Ray Quarter, LWF.
I'm gonna go with Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia. I think when you think of sports entertainment, you think of a lot of amazing matches. And between these two, they put on some stellar matches. Both international women that could dominate in the fields that they're in. And I feel like the history that these two have had, whether it's in New Japan, NXT, or not yet in WWE, but I think we've had hints of it in a little bit. But seeing that these two could really put on a banger show, and when you're there watching, Stephanie doing the Devil's Kiss or Julia with the Beautiful Madness, both of them doing their respective moves, you're thinking this is why I watch wrestling. This is what, the LWF or WWE, this is what it's for.
The Fed. This is what Federation Wrestling is.
no one saw Matt besides me.
Oh,
I just got jumped by McIntyre.
I saw McIntyre. I saw McIntyre.
I saw Matt's laugh flash before his eyes. He said, "Fuck."
So yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead and hop into cell, boys. Time to fight.
Nah.
Dog, okay, what's even the point of doing these anymore?
Yeah, because I already got my pick too.
All right, let's just show the picks then. Let's just show the
Honestly,
picks.
I think the sports entertainment one was kind of like the less skilled one. Oh, mine again, Charlie Sheen.
Oh, that was Cobra Bubbles.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't really see it. Okay, yeah,
Oh, hell
Cobra
yeah.
Bubbles. I'm going with Cobra Bubbles as well.
Oh,
I like
okay.
I like the Mean Girls aspect. So I'm
Oh,
really glad, Mr. CC.
Chesco.
Appreciate that, boys. So that's one Ephraim, and then I think we're all tied at one since y'all tied. You and Matt tied. So we're
They should get
all
half a point. Joke. Let's tie it.
champ dictates that tie. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're all tied at one. It's a fatal four-way.
Packers Cowboys tie. What's the point?
I know at this point.
So here we got two more rounds here, boys. We got the best build.
I could go. I
Uh,
can go first if you want me to. If I can get back to it.
yeah, let's do it.
All right. I mean, y'all have been hearing the whole Hangman and Raven the build. I think that's gonna be the best one I have, just because it makes a lot more sense. I'm not saying it's the best one on the show, but it has a lot more coming to it. It's just that's just the appetizer. That's when y'all just got down and y'all got the mozzarella sticks and Olive Garden. And you're like, damn, these are good, but I'm waiting for like my main course. And
Mm,
I feel like we just got the taste. We need the whole load of it. You know what I mean?
I want
That's
the
what we
whole
need.
load right on my tongue, right? All of it.
And I think that's what it's coming from. And the build's already there. I think it has a lot of people hooked, saying like, "Oh, Hangman already lost, so is given over to Raven and Jacob Fatu, and having them run this company and over a territory." And overarching that the show is pretty much saying like who's running the territory of this promotion, who's the
Mm,
main leaders of this show in the women men division. And I think that's pretty much what's going on, and that's the whole overarching of the build. Is who's going to be these ultimate, top stars of this brand and promotion.
Yeah.
yeah. And also, I think the build is all about the characters, and I think you have very strong archetypes for characters in this
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
storyline. So that's definitely the one I would have gone with. For me, I'll go real quick. I'm gonna run back MJF and Sean again, just because I think it would just be so entertaining week by week, because it's inevitable. Like I think of MJF as like the Loki, like pre-Loki TV show. I think of him as the Loki, where it's like it's almost inevitable. He's always gonna be a villain. He's always gonna find a way to turn on you. So I think it's like there's like a twisted irony in HBK being the guy that he will inevitably turn on just because he's been there, done that. And also just the whole idea of MJF. Yeah, like you guys pitched it from me is like San Antonio. He's gonna come out Bret Hart with Bret Hart's music with the sunglasses and uh at the Ragnarok he's gonna come out in the 90s HBK gear and that'll be the whole thing. And so yeah, I'm just thinking there's so many different entertaining ways, just week by week, little segments. I don't know, like the
MJF
way.
just be like, I got my good friend Charles Barkley here.
And what he thinks about those women down in San Antonio. So I'm
Yeah.
just thinking there's a lot of different ways you could go about this.
And
The
mention
possible,
Kawhi Leonard.
Nah,
you
I'd be
know,
Zaza too.
Kawhi is in a little bit of trouble, so I think legally we'd have some problems getting him on TV. But if we can get him, why not? So I will
There's a
be,
guy that stole all his money. Kawhi Leonard.
yeah. So that's where I'm going with that. MJF, HBK. Who wants to go next?
I'm gonna go with the
uh,
whole. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going with Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor again. Just the whole Finn Balor just manipulating his way of getting Dom kicked out and getting in another company, just tearing the Judgment Day apart, thinking that this is his close. This is his way of being like as a desperate caller trying to reach the top of the mountain again. He's getting older. He's doing anything he can to be the top dog by any means necessary. And then just Bray just challenging him in his old ways of this is what you once were. You were the greatest for our time, a day too even. But just taking a deeper look into Finn Balor's character of his whole deep of a heel turn. There's that build as well, and then also just a connection with him and Roxanne and carrying how him and Roxanne just have ties together, and that's also just part of his story as well between the whole Liv Morgan and Roxanne feud.
What I
Again,
love about what I love about that
as
build is that
well.
it's the first intra-brand little kayfabe connection there between brands.
Mhm.
So yeah, what are you gonna say, Ethan?
I was like, I can hear Tresco in his head thinking Finn Balor the whole time.
It's an echo. It's just constantly ringing in my ears. Um, Ray, what you got? Best build.
Best build. Speaking of Dom, I'm gonna do Rey Mysterio versus Dom versus Eddie Guerrero. Look, when you think Libre, you think of Rey Mysterio, you think of Eddie Guerrero, and now you're thinking Dominic Mysterio. I mean, the legacy that all of these, especially with Dom, or excuse me, with Ray and Eddie, the history that they've had fighting over Dom. Years later, we're finally getting to see not only Dominic turn on Rey Mysterio, but now him finally facing what, in kayfabe is his dad, Eddie, and kind of seeing who really is the king of Lucha Libre, whether it's, people could say it's Rey Mysterio, people could say it's Eddie Guerrero, heck, even now it's Dominic, and just seeing, again, they all have history, especially Dom and Ray. Ray bringing Dom into WWE, or in this case, into my corporation, company, whatever you want to call it. Now Dom turning on Ray and being like, you know what, you may have brought me here, but I'm going to show you why I'm the greatest to ever do it, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna have to live with it.
Boom. There we go. Do y'all want to debate this? Do y'all have any ammo?
The issue that I have with Ray's match is that if Eddie were alive, he'd be 57.
We're taking prime here, buddy.
Yeah, we're taking prime. Like I'm getting a
Yeah, prime.
2003 HBK. My God, him versus MJF in today when he's like the way his stance is like very bow-legged, like his knees are gone.
So Rey Mysterio would be the 50-year-old one.
Rey Mysterio would be 50 years
Yeah,
old. Yeah.
you ever been the other one?
Mm.
I'm trying to think of everyone's match again. And like,
Well, I got my pick.
I think for Matt, I think LA Knight and Cena would be the better build for me personally. But also like, I mean, Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. I almost said it again, Ephraim. I almost said Finn Balor. Um, yeah, in terms of like what's like the most cinematic, the most dramatic build, I feel like since that's your main event, of course I
I
would
thought
get.
about also going with Brock and Braun. I was like, nah. I thought about going after Sports Entertainment, but I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna have that card since I was stuck with it.
Yeah. Oh, Braun versus Brock. That would be a fun match. Like, ooh. But yeah, that's just where I'm at. And then I'm gonna defend Ray a little bit here. I feel like you kind of need Ray to be 50 years old. Rey Mysterio to be 50, to have that history with Dominic Mysterio. But yeah, with Eddie Guerrero, like which Eddie Guerrero are you thinking? Are you thinking like Ray Eddie feud, like the pole soul on a pole, Dom on a pole match?
Yeah, yeah.
or doing like Brock Lesnar, Eddie, or like
How
Mullet
old was
Eddie.
he there? Eddie was.
I think Eddie was like 43, 42 maybe, or just turned 40.
During the SummerSlam against Ray?
He was
Like,
38.
38? Okay, there you go. Yeah, also we're talking about builds. I'm kind of like there would have to be a lot of callbacks to that specific feud. And I
Yeah.
think having that I'm just trying to figure out because WWE would be sticklers for getting copyright footage. I'm just thinking very logistically. You'd have to fork over a lot of cash, man, to get that footage if you're going to try to do that.
we need the sponsors for that.
Yeah, it will be done.
Okay.
We're ready to vote.
I don't really see the point in doing these debates anymore. So we go to the vote, I guess. We're gonna go to the vote.
That's because I'm trying to remember Chesco's, but I was like, I couldn't really remember Chesco's. That's I was like,
It was HBK MJF.
oh, that's right, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like MJF is just cheap pop. I guess that's the only way I would debate it. And that's just like with Balor. I think y'all know I don't like Fit Balor losing to like. Again, it goes back to the supernatural characters clashing heads a lot. So I'm kind of like, that's where my pick is like. I don't like that as much.
I mean, what
But
would you
again,
thought if Bray Wyatt ended the streak instead of Brock?
instead of Brock, I don't know. I feel like a man that should have broke the streak a long time ago should have been Edge. I see the Bray Wyatt pick as the new like phenom of the business. But I feel like, having an Edge or having a young Randy Orton do it, like a younger star, I would say in the time where Bray could have beat it, yeah, he was a young star. But I don't know. It's tricky because I feel like a lot of things are set in motion. But even if Finn was at the time of his height in popularity, I think he could have done it. to me, and my best pick, a guy that should have beat the. I don't know. It's hard to think about it. I can't really. I don't know. It's hard. I just can't think of it at the moment. Hmm. Don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yes, you do know. Quit lying to us, bro. You know.
Oh, it's there, but I don't. It's not forming in my head. Those thoughts.
Have Dom beat the streak.
Very Dom. How do you guys feel about Dom being Cena's last match?
I mean, it's
I
not.
wouldn't
It's
mind
not.
it.
I mean, that means Ray is right, so I don't want that on Ray's head that he's right.
I thought the same thing about Gunther. I'm like, fuck, I don't want Ephraim to be right.
That's hilarious. That our yellow.
All of us are like, nope, we don't want the last person to be right. He
I'd
goes
rather
back
it be
to
Oba
prediction.
Femi.
That could be Oba. I mean, I
Joe Hendry.
I don't know. With
I'm
Cena's
just
last
picturing open. This is an open challenge. You know, if you want some, come get some.
I
Say
think
his
those two builds in
name,
Raw,
and he
I mean,
appears. And then just
those
the
two builds on
indifference.
Raw that they have before the San Diego War Games, I think those are going to be the two like teasers of like who's going to be the final opponent.
I mean, look, it's kind of fitting though too. Cena's an open challenge, like when he first debuted, and it's fitting for him. The
Yeah.
new wrestler comes out, destroys Cena, or Cena gets the win, whatever you want to do.
No promo though, no like fucking promo package.
They really
Like
Yeah,
wrote
this is the
themselves
last match.
into a like a corner having announcing the dates, like how many dates. Like I get that it adds gravitas to each
it's a
date
big
that he's
tour.
there.
It's a goodbye. Yeah,
Yeah, but
The
also
final two
like
Raws are going to have some place on who's the opponent. Okay,
uh,
it's Crown Jewel, the two Raws, War Games, final match. Those two Raws back to back, they got to be billed for the final
yeah.
match.
And also you're trying to tell me that the AJ Styles match barely gets anything. The CM Punk build was barely it was just like what 2 weeks?
well, off those two alone, it's history right there between AJ and Punk.
Me, I'm fine with if I don't want to
Yeah.
see Brock Lesnar run it back against Cena. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
The only way I can like redo that is that they add Brock in War Games and have Cena in War Games, and then Cena pins Brock, and they have their whole one-on-one thing there.
Yeah,
Because that would erase it all.
I've been
Yeah.
seeing that circle.
But I also just been gaslighting myself in my own head of like, oh, why Drew didn't win? You know what? It's fine because the Cody and Seth, their friends shit, how their friendship shit went, and then he was a Shield. I can see that more because all of 2024, all we had was just Drew versus Seth as like the main events for like pretty much everything. Or not main events, but there was a lot. It was like Crown Jewel. It was Raw Day One. It was
Yeah.
WrestleMania. And then as I'm telling myself in my head, I'm like, oh, if you were to take Cena, a sports entertainment guy, against like an actual like fighter who's a heavyweight fucking UFC champion, you know what? Fine. I guess that's why fucking Brock loves Cena. I've gaslighted myself into that.
The only thing is I just wish they beat him up even more. Like because Cena, if you're gonna beat Cena up, I feel like you got to have him leave in the stretcher. I feel like they didn't. It was kind of a half measure, especially if you want like the ESPN. It's your first ESPN show, and you want to start off with a bang. I feel like WrestlePalooza, you should have had Brock like beat him to the point where it's like, damn, maybe the man who never gives up kind of gives up a little bit,
Yeah.
like or like can't even give up because his body is giving up on him. I just feel like it was kind of a nothing burger, you know?
I'm
I
still
know.
holding out for Drew McIntyre, hopefully, but I don't think we're going to get it. I think it's just probably going to be War Games. I mean, we had an Elimination Chamber, but barely. The only real person that's had a feud really with Cena is Logan Paul. He had the Royal Rumble Final Three. He had the Elimination Chamber. He had the tag team. He had the Paris match.
Yeah, that and Cody, Logan and Cody, I think, which is like there's so much we could have done there. Cena's last run.
So is everyone's pick still the same from what we predicted a long time ago? Because mine is still Gunther. I feel like they're waiting for him to come out. Matt, I don't know if yours is still Drew or not because I think that was your pick.
I'm
Ray
not.
is
I'm personally. I'd want to say different who I think it is, but I'm just only saying Drew because I want to manifest it into happening. I don't think it is. I know it's probably not, but I'm just be like, you know what?
you know what?
I'm gonna cling
Fuck
to
it.
this.
I'll change my pick. I'm gonna pick Rhea Ripley.
Hell yeah. For
Just fuck it.
Cena's
Why
last
not?
match,
Yep.
a little intergender match. I like it. I fuck with it.
Rhea puts him through a table.
We'll pick JBL.
Oh shit.
JBL comes back one time, the
But
wrestling god.
we need like a gauntlet full of old wrestlers that Cena used to wrestle, so we can all get like a little memorable moment of Cena's career.
You know, Ephraim, you actually mentioned it. It was very it was actually legitimately a good suggestion was not that you I know how that sounded, but you make a lot of great suggestions. But I love the gauntlet idea. Just
It's
have
Cena versus the
Cena
entire roster. Whoever
ha
gets Cena or pin Cena has the shot of retiring him.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. Like you just have that happen. Also, I saw one I think I sent you guys in the group chat was with this whole Miz and Mello situation cooking up is like you have Miz come out, he's already started to drum up some noise. And you know, maybe the night of Saturday Night Main Event, he goes, fucking, why not me? Why can't I be the last match? And he's about to go out there, and then Mello comes out. He's like, sorry, bud. And you know, we get that passing of the torch last match type thing that
I
I think
It
mean,
people
better not be The
want.
Rock. It better not be The Rock.
No,
I mean,
no.
I pitched if it was it on why it probably makes sense, but I'm like, I still don't want it.
so like another thing too is it'd be really good because if y'all don't know, like back in NXT, that's how Carmelo Hayes debuted against Adam Cole. He's like ruthless aggression and slapped the shit out of Adam Cole. So it could be like a little callback to Carmelo paying homage to Cena while being his final match. So it's possible. I guess we just gotta see. We gotta see.
I think if Cena has his way, he's gonna want to go out looking at the lights like he's very like, I want to lose, but he could possibly win.
He's too much of a good soldier, man. Go out like Sting. Go out with like a great moment. High,
I think
because
that's
he
what
deserves
WWE will
it.
have him do. They want him to have him win, but I think Cena he would want to lose.
Y'all ready? Are
It's
y'all ready?
the whole never give up thing.
How are y'all gonna feel when Break the Walls plays in
Oh God.
Boston?
No, I low key it'll be fine with him winning the Intercontinental title for the Nikkei.
Yeah.
Oh, who knows? Cena also in the poster for Science Event, he has the WWE Championship. Hmm.
Ooh. Damn, man.
Wait. Can we go back? Did we vote for this last one?
He becomes
No,
18th. Nope.
no, we
No.
didn't vote. Best build. I'm gonna need everyone to run theirs back again. Because we got on such a tangent. I'm trying to think which one.
Because
The
Mine
mine was
was
mine was the
in
best.
Riot.
White versus the Demon.
Mine
Yep.
Uh,
was mine was Hangman Raven. Pretty much like the whole show was the build.
yes. And then Ray was
Ray versus Eddie versus Dom.
right. Okay. Okay, I got my vote. I'm gonna
I
go
got my
with
vote.
Mr. CC. Matt had me.
I got the racist.
Oh, thank you.
Racist. Ooh. Uh,
I have a Chesco.
hell yeah. So that's 2 points for me. Cool. Um, the last one here, we got one more round for this episode is
So it's
last
gonna
but not
probably end in
least.
a tie if me from Ray win.
I know, yeah. So we'll see how it goes here.
I don't
Maybe,
know. Ray is sucking that Chesco juice off the bat. He's just licking the tip. He's like,
and you know what? It feels damn good.
he's flipping the menu.
Y'all need to
This
chill, man.
this last this last round, we're going for all the marbles, the best pay-per-view. Um, who would like to pitch why their pay-per-view is the best?
We got sponsors. We got a cool name. We got a cool song. I mean, look at this. Starting off with a bang of an 8-man tag team TLC match of the Usos versus Edge and Christian, Cody and Randy, and Logan and Drew. All four teams have been tag teams before. And then we got the second match of a straight just Hoopers of Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. And then special guest referee Becky Lynch, the Team Frenemies versus the Diva team of It's Slaytime.
Hmm.
And then just a straight cat fight of Liv Morgan and Roxanne. I was like, oh, Dom. You got my basically my husband out of here. I'm gonna fucking kill your ass.
Got my baby daddy kicked out.
Wait. Quick question: since you are kind of like the corporation, are you allowing F-bombs and stuff on your pay-per-view?
You gotta
We're
think
doing
about that.
PG-13 movie rules,
Okay, so
so we
one
get one F
F-bomb
bomb.
per. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, got you.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar versus Braun Breaker, a dream match. And then another one that we wanted on Cena's last run of just John Cena versus LA Knight. Just I guess the aura of like this just star power of both of them and the crowd interactions, and then just ending the match in just a total destruction of just an exorcism match of Bray Wyatt versus the Demon, of them like using tables, flames, fucking even a casket. If you can keep them in a casket for 10 seconds
Yeah.
or just pin them or submit them, it's basically just all hell's breaking loose. They're also in a cage. Does whatever you find under the ring. Basically just everything of like who puts. I just thought about fucking something, but nah.
Can there be like a stand with holy water and then there's a spot where they're dunking them in the they just start dunking each other in the holy water? Just something I was thinking of. Take it or leave
No,
it.
they do that in the prime.
And the front.
Problem is the whole you know,
And that,
I
and then also just the match just being sponsored by Horror Nights, so of course you're getting like horror movie like type items.
hell yeah.
Um,
Beautiful.
I guess I'll go next. I go the Underground Rebirth. It's kind of just like I've been saying, a new start, a new fresh, or something different. I go, it's a little different. You get to stream it off regular cable TV, off satellite TV, since it's so niche. It's not so well known. You don't have to go buy a $30 streaming service app to go watch it. It's for the people. It's for you. You get to watch what you want to watch on your time, and you don't need to watch sponsors. Tickets are below $50, maybe about $10 at the door, maybe 20 if you're bringing a friend in. It's for the people, and this is what this brand is. And the opening match is Melo versus Ilya in a 30-minute limit draw match, which those two men can go toe to toe for hours. Those two, especially with Johnny Gargano coming out to making that feud a little bit more crazy, a little different, adding the heart element to it. Then you have the tag match with Fatal Influence, the Mean Girls versus the Young Stars of Shotzi and Burke Havoc, and those women can go down. Then you have, the call out of Ciampa calling out Matt Cardona and having them go into their Texas death match of Cardona's style of wrestling and Ciampa's brutalness and how crazy he gets. And y'all have seen his NXT. He's had a 5-star Dave Meltzer Classic. And then we have our triple threat of Candice Rhea and Grace, and the heel turn and debut of the Crow, Lyra Valkyria, which will be such a great character. And then we have the main event, if in a regular match, in a actually extreme match of Hangman versus Raven for the Battle of Hangman. So, with 4 different elements in the story, and it's all intertwined together. So pure chaos. So I mean, it's a great rebirth. It's a fresh start. It's something different, and stories that characters are needed and story driven, which I think is awesome.
Beautiful. I'll go next with Saga Wrestling Ragnarok. As I mentioned before, when I was just pitching Saga, there was a time there around Mania 40 where we all thought WWE was going to go to the moon, and we thought we were just going to enter this Renaissance era of beautiful storytelling and characters we care about and big stars and great moments. Um, but and then obviously it fizzled out. But I think with Saga Wrestling, I think I want to try to simplify it so that way we can capture that lightning in the bottle. And I think the way that we format the show with having the 4 different houses, I think it simplifies things. It also adds a different layer to the show that I don't think wrestling has ever. I mean, I could be wrong. Again, I reference our historian, is like something that tackles on the idea of all these wrestling is so subjective and we all have different tastes. And I think that to kind of use that tribalism that we all have our own ideas of what wrestling is. We all have our favorite wrestlers we hate, and actually utilizing that within storylines in this kind of way, I think is will help with in terms of like the business and marketability, and also like just the idea of like, oh yeah, like I'm the House of Fury, I'm at the House of Glory. Like I love Roman Reigns. I love the Showtime stuff. Or like, you have your Jim Cornettes and your more traditional, your Dave Meltzers that are into that stuff, and that's that camp. So I think there's just a lot of different things that there's so much to love. There's so many different flavors. Go to the first match, CM Punk, Swerve Strickland. That one is just pure. Um, Like we all love to see someone get that fire revitalized out of him, and Punk is someone who
Which you
I
didn't use a single time on your nominations.
no, I didn't use it. I think the one I could have used it for, I think, was best build. I really love the build. I love using Larry in there, or as sports entertainment. But I
Oh
think
my
that
god.
I think that match is just so easy to get hooked onto, just because Punk and Swerve. I think that dynamic um, is nice, and then you have the car crash match, which is just an easy sell. It's people bashing into each other, throwing each other through whatever you name it. And then the Americanos add this element of comedy that and also the New Day as well. Like I think those two can go at it. And then Io Sky versus Asuka, the Lord and Savior of wrestling. Io Sky is just always going to be an easy sell and always going to be a fun time. And then you get into yeah, Okada versus Gunther. That's where you get into the pure wrestling, so to speak, with the House of Honor and MJF versus Shawn Michaels. I've spoken to death about how fun that matchup is. Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné. I think that one is if you want like a real like what is like TV storytelling. I think that'll be that uh, scratch that itch for you. And then of course you have the main event, which is just four of the modern day wrestling gods going at each other, and you get to see what that entails and what that looks like. And so I think yeah, you just get so many different
Who was
flavors all
your main
from
event again? Yeah, I
it
know it
was
was
Mox
Okada.
Omega.
Yeah, Okada
Okada's in two
Omega.
matches?
Yep, he so the Gunther versus Okada one, that's like a who's gonna represent the House of Honor type thing, and they
I would
have
have
like
put that first then, because damn, Okada gonna be tired as fuck going to the next one.
that's
That
what I
chest is
want.
gonna be red.
That's what I want is the pure test of the House of Honor at its best. He's kind of the Goku of
So if
this
Okada
thing.
is he just standing in the ring, just waiting for everyone at the entrance, like he doesn't leave?
Yeah, he's just chilling on during Tony and Mercedes. He's just kind of chilling on the sidelines. He can be an
Oh,
announcer table. So yeah, have that as you will. I just really want to stack the deck against him, so that way you're like, oh shit, damn, he actually won it by with all the against all odds. So yeah, Ragnarok. My last final pitch here is yeah, is just why why not get everything? Why not get it all? You know, and I think that's what WWE was the promise that was initially given, but they just didn't know how to keep it going. So yeah, Evram.
I had a crazy like idea. You know how like was it Swerve that got his house burned down? Imagine he just set Larry on fire.
Nah.
It's just a crazy idea. I just want to throw that out there.
Because
he
oh,
feeds Larry chocolate.
yo, dog. Because remember how I had it was he's in a ring, he has a baby carriage, spotlight on him. I was like, if he just starts the segment on out lighting the fire in the baby carriage, and that's what's lighting him, and then you're
Mhm.
like, and then later on in the segment, it's like, oh yeah, it was your ugly ass dog in that baby carriage. And he just opens it up, and it's just a charred dog. I shouldn't be the person talking about charring dogs, but I'm gonna let you guys move on from that. Um,
I just wanted to say the idea so I could get off my head. I didn't think we were going to go that far.
that's hilarious.
Is that one of those clips that's gonna
I
We're
like
gonna cap cut it and then send it to TikTok.
no, it is, I think. So we go to
Uh,
Ray with a Fury in the Sky.
yeah, I mean,
Tomato,
my
tomato.
pay-per-view, I think it has a lot of certified hoopers in their respective field, kind of celebrating the not only the culture, of Latin, the Hispanic culture, I should say, but you're also getting different aspects and different styles of wrestling, whether it's Japan, lucha libre, just to name a few. And I think you're getting some certified matches or some really great matches, starting off with the Lucha Bros versus Fraxium. One thing I feel like my pay-per-view views is really the veteran presence versus the young, and I think that's always a great thing because we're always in that battle the past or the present, who's really better, who even, you know, you got wrestlers today who are like getting their 40s, 50s, can they still hang with the young guys? And nowadays you still see that they can. Even having matches like Javon Evans versus Leon Slater, both young guys that eventually will lead their brand after, you know, years and years. Bandito versus Will Ospreay, two guys that have had history with each other, and again, in separate separate companies in New Japan, even in AEW, and now for the LWF. Like I said, the legacy of Rey Mysterio versus Dom versus Eddie, each of them, you know, kind of carrying that lucha libre, and that's just the main event of night one. My pay-per-view, it's 2 nights. And
Talk about who opens night two real quick.
yeah, and you know, unfortunately, due to this punishment, my goal was to make night two kind of like an evolution where the women get to have their shine, because it seems like nowadays the women wrestling, they've kind of taken over like as that top wrestling source, and even in,
Yeah.
you know, WWE and real Triple H has said it. Sometimes the women are better than the men. So of course. Unfortunately, starting off night two for my pay-per-view, we have Abby Apache, who is a legend in her respective field.
What's
Thunder
so bad
Rosa.
about Fabio Pace?
Hold
I
up, hold
love
up,
her
hold
clip.
up,
What's so
hold up,
unfortunate
hold
about that?
up, hold up. We still going. We still going.
Okay.
Thunder Rosa, a global icon, doing amazing things, carrying her legacy over from Lucha Underground to AEW and so on.
Still great.
He's trying to get her
She's
on the
great.
pod.
I am.
On his
Zarya.
podcast, not ours.
Zarya, even, you know, seeing her with So Ruka, you know, amazing talent. Again, started from
Great
the
stuff.
indies and, you know, working her way here. And then
Absolutely,
unfortunately,
yeah. Okay, I hear great names. Like I don't know what's the
hold up.
unfortunate part here.
Unfortunately, we have Nikita Lyons with Vince McMahon in that match too, which, like I've said
What
earlier,
is it?
what like I said earlier, who are kind of the laughing stock of wrestling, and then of course Vince McMahon screwing it up with
What
his
is he
issues.
screwing?
Nikita Alliance? What? Who said that? Right, is that what you're booking your TV?
I'm gonna need y'all to chill. But kind of speeding through, just, you know, Ruka versus Azumi, in a pure rose match, though that may not a lot of people know that, but you're given a strict wrestling. Like you're not seeing, you know, spots that you would see anywhere else. You're getting pure wrestling. Both of these people using their talent and going against one another. Azumi, a great Japan wrestler, young and upcoming star too, matching up with Ruka, who could, as again, is an upcoming star who's made her highlights. And then lastly, just Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia, frenemies, or friends to enemies, and so on, and their history, what they've been able to create in New Japan, NXT, a little bit of WWE, kind of speaks for itself.
I did want to point out a comment real quick from Jinxman 101 on a TikTok we posted about the arrest of Vince McMahon. He said,
Oh, for real?
does the police have their own Titantron and Def Rebel theme? Can
It's
you
just
confirm, Commissioner of the LWF, can you confirm or deny?
You know what? Screw it. Why not? They
We'll
get
give it
their
to
own.
him.
We're gonna give it to them.
So
it's yeah,
just let that be on the record. Go ahead.
it's police force. That's the first thing you hear before they come out. And the theme song starts playing.
Police force.
It's
Is
just
this
cop
the
sirens.
entirety?
Wee, wee,
It's
wee.
the entirety of the Miranda rights, and then they enter. Uh, I wanted to
No, it's
say
between beats. It's between beats. It's like you got the beat going, and it's like
you have the right to
you have
remain
the right to remain
silent.
silent.
Yeah.
Anything you say will be used against in the court of law.
I just want that
You
on
have
the
the right to the
record.
attorney.
I just wanted on the record that
You get
Ray
one phone
does
call.
confirm that Def Rebel is in his organization. We got Jim
For this
Johnston.
one, for the
I got
Yeah.
CFO.
Oh, okay.
for the police, the wrestlers have their
And
own
Ephraim,
things.
I think since he's hardcore, he's just like, fuck it, we use licensed music without any care about like copyright and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Y'all can play whatever the fuck you want.
Oh shit. So I think there's no we already know each other's pay-per-views front and back. Let's get
And there's
right to
only
the vote.
there's one issue I have.
Ooh.
Ephraim's pay-per-view sounds more like a Raw or SmackDown episode of like how it's like built with like people coming up and like planning a match for later.
Ephraim, would you want to say anything?
No, I mean, it's very built to a certain wrestler. It's marriage territory brand, so it's pretty much like turf wars in a way. I mean, I can't really change his opinion if he thinks it's Raw or SmackDown. There's not much I could go off. My main issue is just that everyone thinks I'm kind of stop copying a style of a certain promotion, which pretty much not. I'm looking at different inspirations and ideas from like, you know, I guess I don't know how to
GC
say it.
Dub.
For ECW, but also like TV shows and music
You're
culture
seeing more like a very
albums.
intimate, like I'm going to this wrestling event, like I bought a ticket, like they like your no matches are like pre-announced.
Yeah, so mine's very story driven, and like I said, that's when I said from the start that it's not gonna be match heavy like the way you guys were. I know you guys wanted to put on a show, but mine was very much story driven to where it's all the stories interlocked and connect like a lot, pretty much like a whole little. I guess what those I forget what those things are called, but it connects very well, and it's an overarching story. The matches are there, but it's second place to what I'm building up.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Um, is there any last final
Run by
shots?
your
I
card one more time, Jessica.
It goes starting off CM Punk, Swerve Strickland, car crash match between the Hardy Boys, Death Riders, New Day, and El Grande Americanos. Third match is Io Sky versus Asuka. Fourth match is Okada versus Gunther, 2 out of 3 falls match. Winner fights in the main event. Fifth match is MJF versus Shawn Michaels. Sixth is Tony Storm versus Mercedes for the women's Valkyrie title. And seventh is Roman Reigns, Moxley, Omega, Okada, a legend in each corner.
Who's your main event, Ray, for night 2?
Stephanie versus Julia.
And then night 1 is
It's the Ray, Eddie, and Dom.
You know, I got an issue with everyone's brand here. I'm gonna say it like this right now. Y'all keep saying I'm pulling stuff from everybody else. Y'all are doing the same exact damn thing. Maybe Cheska's more the original one here, but god damn it, the three of y'all have been doing it to me all episode. I'm tired of hearing this shit. Okay,
What did I say? I didn't
shut
say
up,
nothing
Ray.
towards
Let
your
me finish.
brand.
Cut the pipe bomb, Ephraim. Cut the pipe bomb.
You know what? Ray has been taking inspiration from the whole history of Eddie, Dom, and Ray, and then he's doing everything with Stephanie and Julia from their NXT days. Matt, I honestly don't know what Matt's doing. He's just doing a promotion show. So I'm like, what
He's
the
making
fuck am I
money.
gonna be watching? It's just ads of ads.
I'm showing what
Cheska,
pro wrestling is.
yeah, that's what he's doing now, which is kind of like, and you have Finn Balor losing. That's my fucking problem.
Thank you. Finally, finally,
And
someone verbally agrees with me.
Chesco, you have a house story, which is great. It's story driven. Like you said, Saga, it makes the most sense. My only issue at the end, or is the, we call it the hangman, the Swerve Strickland and CM Punk match. I just wanted it to be more Punk driven because Punk feels like he's a cuck in this whole story. That's fucking it. All right, fuck y'all. Let's go. Let's end this shit.
Ephraim wants to go to bed so bad.
I gotta go pee.
Okay.
I'm torn between the two votes.
All right, boys. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to lock in a vote. I got mine, and with this one, this could determine who has the best, who wins this round of the Wrestler Fantasy Draft. But also, we're gonna go ahead and determine who had the best pay-per-view from each of our perspectives, and we'll go around explaining our pick. I'm gonna give you guys 3 seconds. 3 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi. I got Triple M.
I want to throw chaos into it.
Wait, who did we all vote for? Did we all tie each other on a vote?
Exactly. That's what I said. I want to throw chaos into it.
Beautiful. Okay, well, we each get a point. But I guess I take the dub since
You take the
I was
dub.
up 1. So, I'll take it. Wait, does everyone want to? So Ephraim wanted to create chaos. because he's the underground. Was there anything else you wanted to just point out about Ray's promotion?
I mean, I like the night too. I think he did really well with the Nikita and Vince pick.
So
It's
good.
the way he he's like, yeah, it's a punishment, but he figured out a way how to get out of it, which is really smart on his end. I've always liked it from the start. So I was like, okay, he might be my pick to win it. And I feel like too, like it just makes more sense. I do want to see Eddie and Dom and Rey Mysterio, even though Rey's a deadbeat, but it's great history right there. And I know I just shit on it, but it's just kayfabe, and it's really good. So yeah.
Yeah. Ray, anything since you voted for Ephraim, you guys traded votes.
I really like the style that you're going for, especially the aesthetic of it.
The ass of
And
it. Mm.
I guess so, yeah. Even the hardcore matches, which kind of especially seeing the Texas Death Match, me and you and TNA, I was like, I would definitely pay to watch, a lot of wrestlers go through that, and just seeing your creativity when it comes to segments, your storylines connecting when it needed to be, especially how you end off your pay-per-view. That's what got me hooked.
Which is, I think, too, with the Wyatt Six, that I was like, Ray's gonna cream his pants when he hears the Wyatt Six. He's gonna walk because he knows how much I hate the Wyatts in some aspects. So I'm like, yeah.
But you made it work. You fit the storyline.
I'm gonna go ahead and glaze Matt here real quick. Bell to bell, Triple M.
What's
First of
different?
all, if we're talking about like a business, Matt's is gonna thrive, I think, because he's definitely gonna be the first to accept the Saudi deal. Maybe not right now, but eventually he's gonna get the Saudi deal, and he's gonna be swimming in money. But also,
What, blood
uh,
money?
No, I if I wouldn't sell it to Saudi, but I'd probably make Vegas more a consistent WrestleMania.
yeah, UFC vibes.
Back to back to back to back to back for 5 years straight.
Something like that. But no, actually though, from the draft, I remember I was like, damn, Matt has got such a great roster of people, and such great builds. I think what I wanted to achieve with mine is like something Matt also achieved in terms of getting characters, putting them in scenarios where you care about what's going on and you really care about who's gonna win, and you care about who um like how they get there, and so you've seen a night that's going to be weekly television that's going to be great, but also the way that builds into the pay-per-view. And if we're going, are you doing the Peacemaker thing with James Gunn coming in and he has the helmet and,
Oh yeah,
and
I mean like what I originally wanted for the Cena tour, I was like, oh, John Cena's having his farewell tour the next season of Peacemaker. I was really hoping for a Peacemaker entrance of him like wearing it, like some sort of like gear, but he ended up doing it.
Now, is he doing the dance? That's the real question.
Which one? What dance? Because there's two of them.
The new one.
The new one? I like the old one better. I don't know why.
which one,
I say he
season
probably
one
hit
and
like
two, or
he probably emote and then like hit a five knuckle shuffle.
Yeah.
also seeing Cena and the Long Boys is going to be fun instead of it was like seeing Punk in AEW when he had the tights instead of his usual trunks. I was like, oh, since I'm gonna have to get used to that.
Dude,
Cena.
my favorite punk ever is him wearing those basketball shorts.
It's weird
Oh
going
yeah.
back, the yellow ones.
Yeah.
It's weird going back and seeing Cody in trunks.
Oh,
I
I
know,
know.
yeah. Yeah, and then him and uh what is it, Legacy with the black hair trunks. It's just looking completely different from where he is now. Um what really throws me off is seeing 2009 Randy Orton and just how like smooth he looks.
And like he looks like a baby seal.
Yeah,
His
very
face looks
oily.
so weird. It's like very like puffy and big now.
Dude, he looks like my brother now. Like not now, but back in the day, my brother looked exactly like that. When he shaved his head, my brother looks like young Randy Orton. It was crazy.
Damn. Yeah, yeah, just seeing pictures of him, I'm just like, dude, I feel uncomfortable just looking at him, which I guess is that's the whole point, right? So,
But before I
yeah.
get to yours, I would just the reason why I wouldn't mind Las Vegas just being like the main hub for us mini because there was so much shit to do. Like whenever I went, there was like usually all saw the amount of fucking meet and greets are being like posted out the ass that were just free ones. They have like a ton of like good wrestlers to just meet. Like I met Jay Uso and Rhea in the same day for free.
Damn. Yeah.
What,
That and then
Las
just like the
Vegas,
amount
the
of
strip
like
was?
tourist stuff, like they had TNA there. They had just a bunch of like stuff to do, a bunch of pop up shops. there's a lot of stuff to do there. But as for Chesco, yours is just very original, like the whole houses idea thing, with how it all incorporated into like different stories. I would hope at the future pay-per-view, whatever, it ends with like an all-out like sort of like some old Survivor Series team or like war games, like two separate war games matches, or even just like
You know,
I think
I'm
what your pay-per-view needs probably just a lot more like women and like evened out in the factions.
so
Yeah, yeah.
what I'm intrigued by here is hearing Matt and Chesko is very similar, Matt. How come you didn't like my idea?
Of
Because
what?
mine at the end has a faction war as well for a turf war of my roster. What made you pick Matt? I mean, this is not like anything biased or anything like that. So why did you pick Chesko over mine? Because we're sort of similar in some ideas.
That's what was your
It was like the different families trying to recruit, not
It's
families, but
yeah.
crews trying to recruit
So
Hangman.
each wrestler had a different reason why they want Hangman on a page, which is like Karrion Kross just wants destruction. He wants to bring that aggressiveness out of Hangman. For the Wyatts, it's a family, it's a home that he come home to, like the Dark Order, I guess is the way Chesko put it last time. And then for Raven, he wants to control. He wants that edge over Hangman. And then for Aleister Black, it's liberation, that Hangman can go free. He can do what he wants. That he's his own man. He's back on his cowboy shit.
I guess like your pay-per-view, your whole brand, they all fit like a certain type of brand. Like the whole hardcore, like they all fit in that. But as for like what I see in Chesco is like story driven, there's a lot of like ties that like people like that end up like tied together easily into different feuds. Or, we can make it like personal right away. Like especially with that Shawn Michaels and MJF angle
I had you with HBK. As soon as I picked HBK, I was like,
that one, and then also just the whole main event of what you were plotting to do with Roman and Mox, and there was another one. Um,
So I'm
even
guessing
though
for next
hmm?
time, it's better not to build for y'all because y'all want the action right into your face. Story doesn't matter to y'all, even though story is driven all through your stories.
I mean, mine had a lot of story already.
I picked
Well,
two.
mine was. Oh, I know, Ray. I didn't mean you, Ray, but I didn't mean you. I know you, but yeah, that's what I meant. I thought it was kind of like I'm just trying to figure out why y'all picked who y'all picked to as well, and why you didn't like the others. I guess that's the way I'm looking at it.
I think it's because if I may interject, it's there's like
I gave Chesco less work to do.
is there the it feels like it ends on a cliffhanger. Unless you said like how that ends, but it sounds like it ends on a cliffhanger. And I think how we're kind of conditioned to think of pay-per-views is that they're like little finales of storylines, whether it be a feud or whether it be this, whereas yours, I mean, you acknowledged it straight ahead, is that it is like the beginning of the story. It's like the season premiere. But I guess like with a pay-per-view, yeah, you kind of just want a little bit of satisfaction, which you do get with the soul stuff. But maybe that's where sort of like someone may vote for a different one or like lean towards another one because it's like, oh, yeah, because I definitely see the similarities in ours. But I think mine ends on like a bit of like oh, okay, someone is crowned a winner and there's like a bit of like a bookend to it. But yeah, yours is just inherently like a season premiere, which is fine. Like it accomplishes what it does. But if we're talking about like best pay-per-view, different people want different things out of it. So yeah, the next
The
pay-per-view, maybe
issue,
it'll feel more like
the
a
issue I had
bookend
to
to
raise,
it.
I didn't think it needed to be two nights. I thought it's such an uneven number of 7 matches.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
4 and 3 or 3 and 4.
I just with Matt's too. It's just I don't see the appeal of going to watch these characters. I mean, these wrestlers with really just a little bit of story built into it. So that's why I was kind of like, eh. Jessica, yours is. I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm not trying to do that because I
Yeah.
lost. Whatever. I don't care for that. But that's what I was like. Interesting. I just want to hear everyone's why they didn't pick who they picked. That's why.
I think with Matt's, I just feel they're like from the roster like Edge and Christian, like they're like if people you mentioned like people
Mine's a lot
won't
of
pay to
pre-made
watch.
history that can be made into new.
y'all, you said like people wouldn't pay to watch like people that like big names with a little story. That's kind of what the WWE is doing right now. Is like very
Yeah,
minimum, you know, like not to. I'm saying like there's sort of
to each their own in a way.
to each their own a little bit, and I think with Matt, I think his is very much like leaning into that, but also like a little quite a bit better just because you have both brands and both promotions, AEW, WWE, and there's so many just like storylines inherently baked into that, you know? So that's where I went with Matt.
I mean, mine's the most related to WWE. I mean, it's like I'm basically WWE versus three new minds of like a whole what the viewers might think of like, oh, what are these new ideas?
And also I just appreciated how much Matt leaned into the Triple M. I just really appreciate the build into that. So
I'm
I'm a
gonna be
sucker for
honest
that.
here. I'm gonna be honest here. I really felt like I was gonna lose between all y'all three. But I feel like I'm more of like the NXT kind of vibe, where like up and coming stars. Yeah, we got the veterans, but I think that's kind of the promotion I feel like I had going
I
on,
my
which I was
final
like,
vote was between you and Chesko.
There you go.
dang.